everybody, this is Lorii Abela here at Matchmaker Secrets, where we talk about love, dating, and relationships. And of course, matchmaking. I am your Asian matchmaker and soulmate expert. I am always have been wanting to be a stewardess way back when I was a child, and that never panned out. Well, I guess there must be some reason behind it, but when you think about it, I have no regrets. I'm actually grateful because I've been to 54 countries, so I cannot complain, not bad. And I've always been intrigued with the business of travel, and so that's the reason why I have invited a stewardess today. And it's not only their life as a stewardess, but of course their love life. I'm just so curious about it. I'm sure a lot of people have been curious about it. So we have Helene Albert as our guest. She's an international flight attendant as well as a restaurant owner. She has visited over 54 countries in her several years of flying and speaks a few Romance languages. Originally from the suburbs of New York City, she has lived in Chicago for most of her life. So welcome, Helene.
Welcome. It's funny, we've been to the same amount of countries.
I think I made a mistake. Must be 45. I give you the credit. You're the stewardess. I know, there are a lot of, connotation about your career. But what do you think is the impact of flights? Cruise irregular schedule on their love life?
It's complicated because we have an issue with, say, for example, reserve. We're on reserve, and so we are not sure if we're going to be around on a certain day or time. So it's hard to make plans. So I have to say, yeah, maybe I can see you on Friday. However, then I get called out and I have to go on that trip. So it does make things a little bit more complicated. Again, our schedule is irregular. We don't work a 9-to-5 job. We work like a 48-hour shift, so to speak. So I don't work every Monday, or 9 to 5. I don't know what that means. So it is complicated to explain to people. They'll say, well, when will you know your schedule? Well, we don't know our schedule until like a few weeks before. So we have to figure out, it's hard to make plans. It really is. I've been off for a few months, so it's a little bit easier now, but now I can make plans because I'm not currently flying.
Okay. For the guys. That is, it has meaning. Okay. In the movie Contagion, I have no idea if you've watched it, but anyway, Gwyneth Paltrow flies a lot for work, and she stopped by Hong Kong to meet a third party in her relationship. That made me think now if that can be something common for the people in your industry. Do you think the temptation of having flings is quite high?
You're making our job seem a lot more glamorous than it is. I think once upon a time it was like that people would do more promiscuous things because they were far away. However, I believe a lot of that has changed as many of us have families. So it's kind of nice to look, but it's better not to touch. I do know of some people having things, but that's their business, so I leave it up to them. I try to be respectful in that case.
Yeah, well said. So do you think that a relationship between two airline crews will work?
Again, that goes on to, for example, if they don't have children, it's great because the two can travel together and they don't have to explain their schedule because, again, I said our schedule is quite different. But if you have children, then you're working an opposite schedule, right? So someone is home with the children. Again, the glamour has been taken out of it in a lot of ways. Not all, but in a lot of ways.
Yeah, because I remember now those kind of movies wherein they show a lot of films about cabin crews, and it's very interesting how, their life works. But you have seen many men throughout of your life. And so now I am curious, like, which countries or nationalities do you think have the sexiest men alive?
Okay, so I'm partial to Italy. I speak Italian. I've been to Italy over 600 times, last I counted. And I think the Italians are really beautiful people, both the men and the women. The language is beautiful. The scenery, the panoramic views are beautiful. Someone can say, hey, let's go up to the top of a mountain. And it's the most romantic place you've been to. So I definitely am partial to the Italians. And I mean, even the garbage men are beautiful. They're beautiful. They're just a beautiful group of people.
Oh my
I've
God.
also been to Bhutan. Bhutan have beautiful people, and they just have rosy cheeks. But I've been to Italy so many times, so I'm going to have to say definitely the Italians.
Okay. So I will be crazy if I don't say, like, for me, it's Spain, because, like, it's the same thing. Even the waiters look fantastic. I was thinking, like, oh my God, I didn't know that it'll be like that for me, because, like, it was a friend of mine who visited Spain and said that, oh, you have to include Spain in your trip on the 28th, because I went 28 days around Europe, and she was saying that you have to include Spain. And so then that's the time that I realized, oh, okay. But, if my husband is watching, well, I think, like, I will say first choice Puerto Rico.
That's a good idea.
Okay, all right. So if you can select in a place in the world wherein a guy would propose to you, because you've been all over, which one would you pick and why?
That's a really, really hard question. I've been to the Eiffel Tower so many times. I've been to the Colosseum. I've been on safari in Tanzania. I've been to some really spectacular places. So I can't think of something for me personally. However, I'll tell a story about a passenger on my plane. And I was the purser, which means I was the #1 flight attendant, or the lead on an international flight. And this man comes up to me, and he pulls me to the side, and he said, this is a very special flight. And I said, well, we're going to Italy, of course. That's spectacular. That's very special. He said, no, I'm going to propose to my girlfriend on this flight. I said, that's fantastic. I said, how do you want us to do? What do you want us to help? How can we help? He said, well, I want you to propose for me. And I said, I don't know you. And he said, well, can you say something? And I said, okay, I guess, because normally, sometimes people, like, we have proposals on a plane, and so when we bring, like, the ice cream sundae out, we would put the diamond ring or whatever ring on the sundae, and then we bring it out, and then, the spouse or to-be comes over and says something. And so I'm waiting and waiting, and I'm waiting for a sign, and we're going through the courses, and I'm waiting for him to, like, kind of, nod or wink. And then we're finishing dessert, and I know everyone wants to go to sleep. And we're about to turn the lights down. And instead I said, okay, we have to do this right now. So I had written down a few notes, because I'm making a proposal for 2 people I don't know. And I write down a few notes, and I said, I turned on the lights to bright, and I said, this is a very special flight. We're going to Italy, which of course is extremely special. But this one is particularly special because one of our passengers is going to propose to another. And then I just not made up, but I said a few things about them. And as I'm saying this, the man comes around to his bride-to-be, and he gets down on his knee, and he gives her a ring. So it was really kind of a fun story. And I can say that I've made a proposal for 2 complete strangers.
Oh my God. So it seems like, it's a regular occurrence already, right?
Sometimes they'll get in touch with the airline, or they'll find out, and the airline can do special things. It's always better if we know what's going on. I have heard that the pilot can marry people. I thought about becoming ordained, so I thought that would be kind of fun thing not to do on an airplane because you would need to have your license and everything. But I thought that would be kind of fun to marry. I've married two complete strangers, so to be an ordained minister, maybe I can start doing weddings. I mean, I don't go back to work until next April, so I have some time off. I don't know. I'm looking for a new career. I'm looking for a lot of things. I'm looking for love. I don't know.
I love it, Helene. No, because like, you know, how many people you come across who's ready to be committing themselves on the plane. Like, I guess, like, of course, it's, especially probably if it's in a business class, maybe you have to make it special.
Yeah. No, it was pretty special. So it was exciting because I posted on Facebook beforehand that because I knew before we took off, the man had said something to me. So I posted on Facebook. I said, I've had a lot of interesting flights, but in this one, I think I'm going to be making a wedding proposal a marriage proposal for a couple I don't even know. So
what are other things that you have to do special over there, like, you know, for other people?
For example, this is the closest I personally have been to one of these type of arrangements. But, you know, we bring champagne over. I remember the first time I went to Honolulu in like maybe 1991 or 1992. And I said to one of my colleagues, because I was brand new then, and I said to one of my colleagues, I said, oh, we have a honeymoon couple on board. Can we give them a glass of champagne? And the flight attendant who had been flying forever, she goes, they're all married on this flight. We're going to Honolulu. So, yeah. But, you know, it was actually kind of neat in this flight where I made the marriage proposal. They weren't sitting together, so I arranged to have, first the person was reluctant to change seats, and so I said, no, I whispered, I'm like, you have to change seats, you know. And he goes, no, I want this seat. And I said, you know, I kind of told him what was going to happen. He goes, oh, okay, I'll move seats for him.
Yeah, you know, of course, if they're happy with their seat, they have no idea, like, you know, what's going on. They will not do that,
Exactly.
like, especially if they're beside the window.
Right, yeah, no. So.
Yeah. And by any chance, do you have any idea what is the most common honeymoon place? Because you were talking about honeymoon earlier.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people go to Hawaii is easy. I actually, on my honeymoon, I went to Maui. And I love Maui. It's a beautiful place. Hawaii definitely, because it's in the United States, but it's so different. It's so remote. It's so tropical, so plush. We have a lot of people going to, of course, Paris. Paris really is the most romantic city, in my opinion. I have a bicycle in Paris even. I mean, I've gone all through Paris. I love Paris. I don't think I could live there. I always say Paris is my girlfriend. I wouldn't want Paris as my spouse. Or Paris is my lover, not my spouse. So I guess, I don't know.
So, because like you said earlier, like you have a lot of love languages that you know, romantic languages. So what is the most, you know, romantic in your ears?
My ears, I would have to go with French. French is very subtle. And so I like, you really have to listen to it, but it's just very melodic. Italian's a lot more staccato, like it, you know, with a lot more cadence, and French is a lot more quiet. I don't know.
It was really fun having you, Helene.
Thank you.
So what do you call that? Next time we will probably, you know, interview for something else, like, you know, you're being single or something. So anyway. If you are an expert in love, dating, and relationships, we're always welcoming people to come over here and be our guest. And of course, if you're single and navigating through love, we would like to also interview you and find out how are things going with you. Thank you so much for your time, and then I see you soon. You take care.